What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the quartering end. Oh boy. New scenes have now. I don't even think the term would reasonably be leaked because the game is out there now. I think the worldwide releases tonight. But The Last of Us 2 has some sneaky moves for Neil going in dry Druckmann, including sneaking himself into the game. A banjo-laden spicy scene that exposes Sony's absurd hypocrisy, and new websites have just started spoiling the entire game at this point. So I'm wondering if Naughty Dog's going to come back and rescind all those DMCAs they put down on people. But first, a huge word for a sponsor I am so thankful for, and they have a deal just for my viewers that ends Friday. Check it out. This video is sponsored by Displate. They're high quality prints on metal. They come in matte, they come in glossy finish. They mount super easy magnetically to your wall, which allows you to swap them in, swap them out, and always keep your art on the wall new and fresh. Make sure to click the link in the description or the pinned comment below to activate your 25% off discount. Displate has everything: Star Wars, Marvel, DC, The Witcher, Cyberpunk 2077, and you all went hard last month picking up your Displates, so they gave me another promo for this month. Go check it out. Save 25%. The deal is only good till Friday. Send me your pictures, tweet your Displate art to me on Twitter, and maybe I'll do some giveaways of all of the ones that I've obtained. Thanks so much, and get your Displate today. Now, somebody said, oh God, it was way too early to get this little cutscene. I can't show it. I can't. But it exists. And let's just say it's a scene between somebody that, or a character that everyone seems to say Neil Druckmann made look like him. I don't see it, at least from these scenes. But maybe then. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Scrum saying, how is this real? Ha ha ha. The leaks were bad, but this. Druckmann inserts himself into a spicy scene with Abby, the golfer. This got a 10 out of 10 from the entire gaming press. The Last of Us 2. Now, am I offended about this kind of a scene in a video game? Nope. Don't care. Video games should have more of it. I wish that maybe there was something attractive about it, but hey, different strokes for different folks. And I'm not, hey, look, the biggest offense to me was Neil going in dry Druckmann, not just in, like just ripping and a tearing. Not even, the dude didn't even spit on it. I mean, come on. This scene feels like it was made by people that have no idea how these type of interaction. This is like a scene made by virgins. I mean, I just it's just like 3 seconds between. I suppose I'm not going to go down that road anymore. It is spicy. Now, Mark Kern points out accurately, by the way, 2D anime cleavage bad. Reviewers hate it. Cover it with lens flares. But this, perfecto. 10 out of 10 journalists will play again. Sony sure has a good eye for hypocrisy. I think we are finally learning absolutely everything is rigged in this world. And there is, it's just very, very obvious. And here's a perfect example, right? Sony 101, another great meme. Well-balanced content. The other inhibits the sound growth of development of young people and demeaning to women. Learning the difference could save your job. You have Devil May Cry scene here. You have another scene from a spicy anime video. By the way, there is more to this picture. It's just been cut out because, well, I don't want to scar anybody. Hey, and just a quick daily reminder that nearly 40% of my viewers are not subscribed. I hope that the variety of things I cover and the veracity in which I put out videos will make today the day that I earn your subscription. There's a little button below the video. Hit that or go to the main channel and subscribe. It just makes getting my videos easier, makes finding them easier, and it helps the channel. Now, ultimately, it's not, for me. If you think Abby is an attractive female, good for you. The question is, though, this does open. Now, as far as I know, Abby is a female. And by the way, don't care. Gonna lean into this. So before anyone gets bent out of shape, Neil Druckmann's game, he can do whatever he wants with it. Okay, but from what I can tell, everyone who's played the game that have talked to me directly has said that Abby is a female. But what if they presented this to Sony and said that Abby was in fact trans to avoid the lens flare? I mean, Abby's upper body is clearly muscular. They are like pecs, not, what is clearly a female body. However, I've definitely seen women who work out, they get strong, they get pecs. A lot of professional bodybuilding women, end up having to get bolt-ons down the road. It's just what happens when you get swole as a female. But here's another little thing. Neil Druckmann also inserts himself. And by the way, no problem with this at all. If I were ever in a position where I could, be like, would directors make cameos? Of course you would. I just watched Django Unchained again last night because it had been a while. And then I don't remember the scene. I didn't remember the scene the first time I saw it. But there was a scene where Tarantino is one of these Aussie. At first I was like, why do they sound like they're from New Zealand? That didn't make any sense. And then I Googled it, and I guess Australians were also indentured servants at that time. So I guess I got a little bit of education out of it. But anyway, he's in there, and he blows himself. He gets blown up in a little crater. What an awesome thing to do. If I was the director of a film, that's how I'd go out too. So I have no problem. Now, Dr. Uckman, this clearly is Neil. This is less, controversial. Because when they say that they inserted himself as the person with Abby, I don't see it, but I haven't seen all the angles. I'm still waiting. I told Neil publicly, I will play your game. Not only that, I will stream your game. Just rescind the DMCA takedowns that continue to flood Twitter. In fact, I keep getting them. Anyway, Dr. Uckman, real name Dr. Uckman, brains 100, brawn 60, affiliation the New Dogs. Once a well-respected researcher, Dr. Uckman's questionable experiments in the realm of pushing human limits saw him ostracized from the scientific community. Even the morally compromised Laurent Foucault of Spark Laboratories found his work dubious. Again, 100% totally fine with this in the game. Why wouldn't you do that? It is a little, some people will call it egotistical. I think that they have a valid point, but to me, maybe I'm probably just egotistical. I would definitely do it. Well, I wouldn't make myself a main character, but I'd be in there somewhere, just a little Easter egg for the fans. Now, interestingly enough, Collider published June 18th, so I can only assume now that the DMCA issue must be over, because they just basically spoiled the entire game. And it's interesting to me that they must not want, I don't know, they must not want that insider access. Interestingly enough, June 16th, this is just 2 days ago. I didn't even notice this. Here is, we've received a DMCA notice requiring your account. Ironically, they DMCA'd my tweet that talked about them DMCAing me. The tweet said, Naughty Dog has hit me with 21 DMCA takedowns on top of Sony taking on other YouTubers. And then also, image uploaded with tweet, Naughty Dog. So it didn't like my thumbnail, apparently. And of course, this is from Muso Limited. So they're still out there. And by the way, these are all of additional. So they show the additional work, which is just a link to the video game page. And then you see all of these. Now, this must be the tweet shares items or materials listed in the above. So anybody who interacted with my tweet also got hit. That's ridiculous. If you retweeted my tweet, you were also getting a DMCA takedown. Now, I've seen, at first I was just kind of like, who cares? Delete the stupid tweet, you babies. But I really didn't think that it would go so far as to what we saw with Geeks and Gamers Twitter feed, where his entire Twitter of 25,000 people was erased. Now, I'm not going to go through each painstaking spoiler here because I'm not interested in ruining the game for people that want to play it. But I just thought it was interesting that mainstream media now is out here and just completely spoiling the story. I suppose it's an interesting read, but I don't know, Collider. I don't think you're going to be getting any review copies. But I'm just more so interested in the comments. Thanks. Saved me a lot of time on this garbage. And wowee, does it ever sound like garbage. This game sounds so boring and stupid. Cliche story. Non-likable characters. Garbage plot points. Between this and SkillUp's review, that the gameplay is basically a little more expanded, but not really better than the first one. This is a hard pass for me. They're also regurgitating the story of The Last of Us 2 pulled off a kiss scene that makes players cry. Wow, I'm so happy for them. Stunning and brave. I suppose, I don't know how else to ask this question. I do have, it's just so weird. Druckmann shot the scene in two other ways. The actors passionately kissed without the helmets on, so that they kissed the air to create a reference point so animators could see their facial skin moving. It didn't help that the Velcro on the actors' mocap suits got stuck and made ripping sounds, causing for extra work for audio engineers. Nothing sucks more than having an incredible performance with sounds of Velcro over the audio, complains Druckmann, vowing to create silent suits if we make a third game. Physically, however, the kiss was one of the least demanding scenes in the game, that filled with punching, jumping, falling, rolling, and attacking. It was scary physical, all the mocap people. I'm happy. I'm happy if you're happy. If two chicks kissing, I mean, I'm down with it. I don't know. Doesn't offend me. It's a bold move for them, but it doesn't offend me at all. I have a question though. Do you think that Neil Druckmann actually inserted himself into the spicy scene, or is it just an overreach? You can see Black Sage here talking about, here's a PSA to anyone who's concerned about censorship in video games. It's okay to be upset with Sony's new policy. This is back in January. There's nothing wrong with wanting to see scantily clad women in video games. There's nothing wrong with complaining about devs having their art be neutered. I mean, this person's not wrong. And you see, just all of the lens flare and all that. Here's a great one. Sony mocapped literal hooking up. Sony, nice. 2D waifu, Sony, So I'm interested. I have got a little theory that Naughty Dog might have been purposely ambiguous with Abby to try and get that scene into the game. I don't know. It's an M-rated game. It can exist. That's cool. Happy for you. It's going to be interesting to see what the sales numbers are on The Last of Us 2. Early indications show that video game developers love it. I mean, part 2, I can't show you this because it has a picture of Abby's pecs. Part 2 ventures further into the ground of the studio. There's a wonderfully written love triangle. There's even a, quote, tasteful hookup scene, a rarity in games. Tasteful? He just crams the... There's nothing tasteful about it. And the banjo music playing over the top of it, absolutely hilarious. But the amount of people still interested in this game is high. There's something like 300,000 where are the Twitch, I had some Twitch followers numbers. The Twitch numbers were huge. It was like 300,000 Twitch viewers for concurrently, which is bigger than God of War. Here it is. It's already beat God of War's peak Twitch viewership. Numbers in the game isn't even out yet. 303,000 viewers. It's going to be interesting to see how people love it. Obviously, the more and more fans of the game are flocking to videos that dislike videos critical of it. I haven't played it yet, so I can't say anything very positive about the game. Neil, the offer is still on the table. Happy to play it. Just call off Muso. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.